you got the model right.
Yep.
And was the
Rightish.
rightish, yeah, some of the foundations. Was it always the concept that you did wanted to just dominate with the juice bars, or like what was sort of the steps that you actually had forecast ahead?
Look, the one advantage of creating your concept from another state is that the concept of, or the thought of growing your business outside of the state was already gone, because I already created a business outside of my own state. So it was like, okay, well, that wasn't a problem. So we just, when we actually bought it, I think it was our 5th store came to Melbourne. So that was just sort of how it sort of
party time.
Yeah, it was. It's like actually the worst thing about a store coming to Melbourne was that instead of being able to leave Adelaide and coming back to Melbourne to work, I got more caught up in store because it was never right. It was never, and even today you look at a store and you go, oh, there's just things that could do better. So I think that you're constantly in that form of how do we get better. The thought of global, look, we were focusing pretty much on Australia in the first instance. Now, we knew that the category was heating up and there was more and more players into the market, and we felt that there was 1 or 2 players needed to get big, quick and safe. So it was really important for us to do great deals and have great relationships with the landlords of the major shopping centres. And so we very quickly secured places in most of the shopping centres in Australia, probably within the first 2 years, which was great and the great strategy, but the execution of that was very difficult because you're a brand new business, you've hardly got any staff, you're trying to work it out at the time. So in actual fact, it worked well, despite the fact that it was a lot of pressure on a very small team of people.
So your whole goal at the start was, once you had that foundation right, it was really just trying to grow it as quickly as possible.
Quickly and safely. And the biggest challenges I had was that the business wasn't old enough to have people in the business long enough to know what they were doing fully. So it was that. So really what we needed was passionately driven people that were quick learners that could go on their feet and work on the feet and solve all the problems that were coming up every day. And we did. We did and do have a fantastic team that actually achieved all those problems. Fixed all the problems as we went.
So let's talk about the team, because that's one thing. Like, I actually remember my very first experience at Boost Juice, and it was in Miranda Westfields in New South Wales. And I remember they asked for my name. And a lot of you ladies know I do sales training, and sales training covers customer service, leadership, it covers everything. And being asked my name, I thought, oh, well, this place has got it right, because I had no idea it was a chain at that stage. And I thought, it just blew me away. So you were mentioning before, Australia really, it's about that customer service. We've still got a lot of catching up to do. What was it that made you really start to hone into that? Where did you start to learn that experiences from? Because the only place I knew that I've ever experienced getting a name was Victoria's Secrets in America.
Okay.
And now I know that not Lorna Jane, Lululemon catches your name now as well. Right. And it's so great because it's so personalised. And in your industry, you're with the customer for 30 seconds. So it's that instant rapport they've got to be able to get. And how personal is it just being able to get that person's name? Like, it's just instant success. I loved it. So how did those concepts come about?
The concepts come about as a consumer, not as a business person. So what do I want? Do I want to be a number? Do I want to be 37? Or do I want them to ask me, Janine, where you are? Now, the other thing is, and it was also efficiency too, because 2 people come up and order a Mango Magic. Well, if someone goes Mango Magic, someone gets mine, I'm standing there, I'm waiting any time. So it was a number of things was like, how do we make it simpler, and also how do we make it personal, and how do we make it a bit of fun? Mm-hmm. So, some people come up and go, what's your name? I'm Gorilla. And then, gorilla, so you sort of, so there's a lot of fun that can happen with it too.
I love it.
So it was just really going back onto that. And it's like we have rules in the business. Like, if someone waits too long, because at the end of the day, in any business, shit happens. Mm-hmm. It just does. Yeah. Bananas don't get delivered when they're supposed to, or machines break down, or just things happen. So knowing that, it was important that we had the ability to fix it or leave that person leaving with a good experience. Mm-hmm. So there's 2 things that were really important for me, was that when things go wrong, I want to know about it, And when things go wrong, I wanted to fix it. And also when that person's pissed off, I want to turn a pissed off customer into a raving fan.
Yeah.
So they were our fundamentals of the business. So when someone rings up, types in an email saying that they're not unhappy, normally starts like this: I'm never coming to Boost again, the girl that served me, blah, 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 all boys serve me. And so we don't really go, right, let's find out what happened. We just go, whatever they say happened in their eyes, whether they did or didn't, perception is reality. So we then, first of all, apologise for the experience, because that is not, and that's a genuine apology, because we don't want them to have a bad experience. Yeah. We find out about the problem and we fix it. So we say to them, here is a free card, we will fix it, and we go back to the store on every single complaint, even today, and we get back to it within 24 hours. Yeah. And so we fix it, and we say to them, please invite them to re-complain. Please, here is a free card. Go back. If it's the same experience or not better, let us know, and we'll escalate it. So what it did was it enabled our customers to be our mystery shoppers, because, you know, one of my concerns was that I can control a small number of stores in the customer experience, but how can I control 200 odd stores? You know, it makes it really difficult. So by really encouraging people to give feedback, positive and negative, enabled us to continue to get better. And there's no surprise if one store suddenly gets 10 complaints. Look, there's a problem with that store. So it enables us to go in and fix things quite quickly. So look, you will mostly have a great experience at Boost, you know, but hey, we're talking humans. It won't always be. But when you don't get a good experience, I want to fix it. Yeah. And it's that just care factor to really get it right has kept Boost where it is today.
I love that. I love how you actually see it as the feedback from the customer. Your priority is to be able to turn them back into a raving fan again. And, you know, one of the things that you ladies probably remember me teaching is that when a customer actually gives you a complaint or feedback, I like to say, they're the ones that actually will give you the feedback. They're actually helping your business grow, because really there's a study, and it's 1 out of 26 people that actually complain are representing the 25 people that don't complain and give you feedback. So when a customer ever gives you feedback, you should be jumping for joy that that customer has actually given that feedback to you, because they're the ones actually helping your business grow. So I love that actual way that you guys do it. Like it's a sincere apology, and it's been able to fix it. And obviously sometimes we might have customers that might always be customers that complain, but then there's sometimes customers that really are giving you those feedbacks to really help you actually increase that ability of customer service or wherever that area is.
And also it's an appreciation of their time. I mean, someone has sat down, whether they've done it angrily or whatever, they've given you 15 minutes of their time, or 10 minutes, or even 5 seconds of their time to give you feedback. So hence why I don't care what the feedback is, I will send them a free card to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time to improve my business. The day that you sit down and go, oh my God, that's just bullshit, that didn't happen, I was there, is the day that you need to look at yourself and your customer service. Like, because you need to embrace all feedback. And sometimes it is confronting. Sometimes you do go, hang on, that's not right. But you know what? It's appreciate them doing it. And you know what? Sometimes it may not be just, but who cares? It's their perception, and that person's going to go and tell 10 people, they're going to blog it, or they're going to send it on email, or do a video tube on it, and good luck with that.
I love it. Love that mindset. Now, you have extraordinary training within your business. You have to, because your business cannot be as successful if it doesn't have systems and processes and a high amount of training. So what do you do when you actually crew? Because your actual team members, they're quite young, what I notice. So what do you do to actually bring them on board? And what training do they actually go through to be able to take on the ethos that you actually have and put within that business?